Hello everyone and welcome to another book haul for the month of December. December is always the biggest haul of books for the month. For this one, I did a haul video of the Book Grocer Advent Calendar box. There were 24 books in that, so I did that one all by itself. In this particular video, I'm only going to do books that I got in the month of December, or that I received in the month of December that were from book boxes. Some subscription, some pre-orders. And then I will do another one. So I did the Book Grocer one. I'm doing this one. In this video, I will also, or maybe I'll do all separate because that's quite a few books and I don't want this video to be super long. So I'm still debating. But I'm going to do one for books that I got as Christmas gifts that includes like cash that I got and then went and book shopping for myself. So Christmas gift books will be their own separate thing. And I think I'm going to only do this one as books from book boxes only because I've also got some pre-orders that came in, books for book clubs that have come in. Books were, like from the Advent box, were 5th or 6th in the series, so I ordered the first books in a series. There's a Christmas gift that I got from my mom where she got me the second book in a series, so I had to get the first book in a series. So I think I'll do all of, so there's going to be a couple of different book hauls for the month of December that you'll be seeing in January. So let's go ahead and delve right in. Now, with some of these book boxes, there's one that I did not read like the second book synopsis, but I will in this video in case you've read the first one and are contemplating getting the second one, but I haven't looked it up yet. So let's go ahead and get started. There is one book in this stack that is actually on my January TBR, so hopefully I'll get to it. So we're gonna go ahead and start with book of the month. And for this one, one of them was Most Wonderful by Georgia Clark. And there is not, I don't think there's a synopsis on this one. Yeah, there is not a synopsis. There's just a little blurb on the inside here. And the back part of the dust jacket is a author synopsis. So let me pull this up on my phone. I have to find my phone. There it is. I'm now at the age in my life where I put something down and even though it's sitting right in front of me, I'm looking around wondering where it is. So if you're not at that point in your life, be grateful. Be grateful you're not doing that yet. You will get there. You will. Fact of life. All right, so I have the synopsis pulled up on Goodreads. Okay, let's get the book back up. It says, a charming queer holiday romance about 3 adult siblings, each at a personal and romantic crossroads, who reunite at their larger-than-life mother's Catskills Manor for an unforgettable Christmas. And let's see, this is from the author of It Had to Be You. It's the most romantic time of the year. The holidays are fast approaching, and the Belvedere siblings are a mess. Liz, a Hollywood showrunner and responsible eldest, has no idea how to follow up her hit show's first season, or how to deal with her giant crush on its star, Violet Grace. Birdie turned her chronic middle child syndrome into a career as a stand-up comic, but since she spends more time wooing women than working on new material, she's facing one-hit wonder status, especially once she gets axed by her manager. And Rafi, sensitive romantic, and the baby golden boy, proposes to his co-worker girlfriend in front of his entire company, only to be turned down by the woman he thought was the love of his life. Born to 3 different fathers, the 3 adult children share one mother, famed actress and singer Babs Belvedere. Seeking direction and holiday cheer, all 3 siblings head up to their mother's house in the Catskills, determined to swear off love and focus on themselves and their work. But the spirit of the season seems to have different plans for them, and their best intentions are quickly derailed in the most delightful and festive of ways. So that is Most Wonderful. Okay, the next one I got from Book of the Month is A Home for the Holidays, written by Taylor Hahn. This one says, For wedding singer Mel Hart, the holidays have always retained a certain magic. Her mother, Connie, always managed to pull off spectacular Santa hijinks that convinced Mel to keep believing in Santa way longer than the other kids. Those moments meant everything to Mel because, for the rest of the year, life was unpredictable due to her mother's alcohol use. But 2 weeks before Christmas, Mel gets a call from the hospital. Her mother has died. Then a woman shows up on Mel's doorstep, claiming to be Connie's estranged best friend and promising to tell Mel a different narrative, one in which Connie was almost a famous country music star. If only a man hadn't gotten in the way. Instead of spending Christmas alone on her dead mother's house, Mel agrees to stay with Barb for the holidays, finding herself in the middle of Barb's complicated family and uncovering secrets while fighting an attraction to Barb's in the middle of a divorced son. As Christmas approaches, Mel reckons with how little she knew about her mother's past, while re-examining her own future. And the last one I got from Book of the Month, and this one is one I'm hoping to get to this month in January, and that is The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year, written by Ali Carter. This one says, "The bridge is out, the phones are down, and the most famous mystery writer in the world just disappeared out of a locked room 3 days before Christmas. Meet Maggie Chase and Ethan Wyatt. She's the new queen of the cozy mystery. He's Mr. Big Time Thriller Guy. She hates his guts. He thinks her name is Marcy, no matter how many times she's told him otherwise. But when they both accept a cryptic invitation to attend a Christmas house party at the English estate of a reclusive fan, neither is expecting their host to be the most powerful author in the world, Eleanor Ashley, the Duchess of Death herself. That night, the weather turns, and the next morning, Eleanor is gone. She vanished from a locked room, and Maggie has to wonder, is Eleanor in danger? Or is it all some kind of test? Is Ethan the competition? Or is he the only person in that snowbound mansion she can trust? As the snow gets deeper and the stakes get higher, every clue will bring Maggie and Ethan closer to the truth and each other. Because this Christmas, these two rivals are going to have to become allies, and maybe more if they have any hope of saving Eleanor, assuming they don't kill each other first." So this one's not going in the stack there. I've got to set this one to the other side so I take it back up to my room. And the reason why I'm doing, I think, just the book subscription boxes is, one, not everyone likes watching unboxings. They like watching haul videos. And maybe, and some people like myself miss some videos due to life and they don't want to go back and try to find certain videos. So I'm just kind of putting these all in there in case you're not a fan of unboxings, but you do like haul videos, then at least you've got something. So moving on, this is a pre-order I did in like June or July, and this was a pre-order from the author's website, and the author is Annie Anderson. And this is a book that is going to have dragons in it, and it is a beautiful book. I did not do an opening of this one. It came on like one of my days off and I wasn't feeling the greatest, and so I just opened it. Anyway, the book that came that I pre-ordered was Ruined Wings by Annie Anderson. This is Severed Homes, Book 1. And this is just the Just Act jacket. Okay, so see, as you can see, there's a dragon there. There's two dragons there. Nothing on the back. But here's the stenciled edges. So it's like fire and almost like, and then there's a rose there that's getting hot, and then like they're burned there. So this does come with a ribbon. Let me find the ribbon and I'll show you. So it comes with a ribbon. It came with 2 art prints. I'm not going to show you these art prints because if I remember correctly, they're actually in the book, so you'll see bigger versions of them. So let me read the synopsis and then I'll show you the rest of this beautiful book. Let's see. Alexa will wake the beast. Alexa will unbind him. Alexa will destroy us all. Vale Tenebris has a big problem. She needs to get her and her sister out of the Elysium, like yesterday. Living with a bunch of cave-dwelling magic hunters wouldn't be so bad if she wasn't hiding what she is from the very people sworn to kill her. Her escape plans crumble to dust when she has to choose between the freedom she longs for and saving her sister from the clan leader's son. Forced to use the unruly magic, she exposes the one thing that would mean her execution. But, being put to death isn't the worst part either. No, that comes in the form of 2 dragon shifters who come to her rescue, claiming that she is the key to unbinding their king and saving the realm from extinction. Betrothed to the beast and thrust into an unknown world filled with daggers at every turn, Val needs to learn how to use her magic and fast, because that ring on her finger won't save her if she can't figure out how to help the king, nor will it stop her attraction to the shifters who pulled her from the brink of death. And the magic brewing under her skin could very well be the end to them all. So, let me take the dust jacket off. It is not reversible, okay? And yeah, the 2 art prints are on here. So, here is the cover, and this was one of the art prints. Let's see. So, this is the front cover. Nothing on the spine, and the back cover is a dragon, and that's the same art print. So we got individual art prints. So there's the dragon, and then the end pages are dragon scales. Same on the back. This is signed by the author. It says, for all my girlies who were traumatized by the plethora of early 2000s love triangle that ripped our hearts out, this one's for us. And then the start of the chapters. Let's see, that one's for the main female character. I'm trying to see if the start of the chapters are different for the male. I'm just seeing a lot. No, it's the same, because here's one of the male main characters and it's the same. So, gorgeous book. Gorgeous book. Okay, this next one, it was from Once Upon a Book Club. And it was their Christmas Advent calendar that I ended up ordering again in the summer. I don't exactly remember what month. It came with a total of 5 books. So, let's go ahead and delve in. So, 4 of them... Okay, let's just get into it. These books are from the young adult box. And I have The Counselors, written by Jessica Goodman. Camp Alpine Lake is the only place where Goldie Easton feels safe. She's always had a special connection to the place, even before she was old enough to attend. The camp is the lifeline of Roxwood, the small town where she lives. Alpine Lake provides jobs, money, and prestige to the region. But few Roxwood locals get to reap the rewards of living so close to the glam summer camp, with its 5-figure tuition and rich kids who have been sent there for 8 weeks by their powerful parents. Goldie's one of them. Even with her towny background, Goldie has never felt more at home than she does at camp. And now she's back as a counselor, desperate for summer to start and her best friends Ava and Imogen to arrive, because Goldie has a terrible dark secret she's been keeping, and she is more in need of their comfort than ever. But Goldie's not the only person at camp who has been lying. When a teen turns up dead in the lake late one night, she knows that the death couldn't have been an accident. She also knows that Ava was at the lake that same night. What did Ava see, and what does she know? Why hasn't she said anything to Goldie about the death? Worse, what did Ava do? But asking questions offers no answers, only broken bonds of lifelong friendship with hidden danger and betrayals deeper than Goldie ever imagined. Next up, Gallant by VE Schwab. I do like this author's writings, and I know this one has been very hit or miss for a lot of people, so we'll see how I feel about this one when I get to it. It's got some cool end pages there. Nothing under the dust jacket. Let's see. The shadows are not real. The dreams can never hurt you. You will be safe as long as you stay away from Gallant. Gallant. Is it Gallant or Gallant? Gallant. Let's say Gallant. All her life, Olivia Pryor has wondered who she truly is and where she belongs. Her only clue is a slim, battered journal, her mother's journal, full of entries that seem to show that she was unraveling and drawings that looked like lots of ink, until Olivia notices a hand, a door, a bloom, a skull. Then a letter beckons Olivia home to Gallant, the one place her mother's journal warns her never to go. Olivia goes anyway, of course she does. What she finds is her last living relative and her family's manor. A manor with a ballroom and a sitting room and a study and a sprawling, vibrant garden, and the crumbling ruin of a garden wall with an iron door, a door she must never open. But no one at Gallant sent Olivia that letter, and no one will tell her what haunts her cousin's dreams, what happened to her mother, or what lies on the other side of the wall. Did the shadows call Olivia home? What will they ask of her in return? Next, this next one, I kept saying Asylum. I think it's Elysium. So I think I was saying the title wrong. I think it's Elysium. So Elysium Girls by Kate Pentecost. So this looks like a steampunk, just from how I've heard it described. I have yet to read anything steampunk, so this will be interesting. Elysium, Oklahoma is a town like any other, respectable, God-fearing, praying for an end to the drought and the dust storms, until the day the dust soldiers arrive, until the people of Elysium learn it's all a lie. You see, there isn't only one God. There are two sisters, life and death. And the sisters like to gamble against each other with things like time and space and human lives. Elysium is to become the playboard in a ruthless game between the goddesses. The dust soldiers will return in 10 years' time, and if the people of Elysium have not proved themselves worthy, all will be slain. Nearly 10 years later, 17-year-old Sal Wilkerson is called upon to lead Elysium as it prepares for the end of the game. But when an outsider named Asa arrives at Elysium's gates with nothing more than a sharp smile and a bag of magic tricks, the frightened townspeople flock to his side. Sal tries to prove herself the best witch to lead Elysium, only to trigger a terrible accident that gets both her and Asa exiled into the brutal desert of dust and steel. There, Sal and Asa stumble upon a gang of girls headed by another Elysium exile. As the apocalypse looms, even 7 girls and 1 demon will use their gifts to create a cavalry of magic-powered scrap metal horses to ride to Elysium's aid. But they must do more than simply tie up the scales in Elysium's favor. Only by reinventing the rules can they beat life and death at their own game. Okay, next up I have Influence by Sara, Shepard, and Lila Buckingham. Let's see. It says a twisty mystery set in the dangerously competitive world of influencers. After a video she makes goes viral, everyone knows Delilah Rollins. The rush of getting likes is a drug she can't get enough of. And now that she's in LA, everything is going to change. Hang on, I need a drink of water. Okay. Jasmine Walters Diaz grew up in the spotlight. A child star turned media darling with 20 million followers. She basically breaks the internet every time she posts. But if the world knew who Jasmine really was, canceled. Fiona Jacobs is so funny. No wonder she's always smiling. But on the inside, the girl's a hot mess. And when someone comes out of the shadows with a secret from her past, it won't just embarrass Fiona, it will ruin her. Who wouldn't want to be Scarlet Leigh? Just look at her Instagram. Video vixen, sponsorship queen, Scarlet has a gorgeous, famous boyfriend, and practically the whole internet ships them. Their lives seem perfect, but are they? In California, the sun is hot, and someone is going to get burned. And the last book that came in the Once Upon a Book Club is the actual short story collection. I have not read this one. I'm impatient. I opened everything first, so I haven't even read this one yet. But this is 12 short stories, all from various authors. They're all listed at the bottom here. So a bunch of various authors. This is volume 8, so I'm hoping they'll do it again next year. And yeah, so it's just a collection of short stories. Reading is dreaming with your eyes open. Okay, these next 2 I will show you are both from Nocturnal Ink. That used to be Twisted Desires, but they are rebranding to Nocturnal Ink. And this first one I'll show you is The Point of No Return, written by Devyn Sinclair. One of these was actually it's a bi-monthly subscription box. So one of them was from the bi-monthly box and one of them was from a deluxe box that they do on occasion. Do I remember which is which? No. So it doesn't matter, I got 2 books. So The Point of No Return by Devyn Sinclair. There's always a quote on the back. This one says, "Why you? Because we need you. We waited for you. Felt you the moment you stepped out of your car here. Knew that your voice lit us up like lightning. But I also knew the second you fell into my arms that you were mine." Lightning stenciled edges. I can't show you, I'm not going to show you the art print because it is explicit. So if you want to see it, I show it a little bit in the actual unboxing, but I'm not going to show you. The end pages are fine because you're not seeing anything. You're just seeing like from here up, so you're not actually seeing anything. It's the same on the back. And it is a reversible dust jacket. However, I can't show you that. I can show you this side, but it is sexually explicit as well. And, oh, I do want to show you. They do gorgeous editions. Okay, now I'll read the synopsis for this one. It says, "Men like this don't exist. Gorgeous, dark, angry, seductive. Stone doesn't come to life and leave me wanting more. It's impossible. Until it isn't. My name is Christine Daniels, and I am going mad. It was supposed to be simple. It was supposed to be simple. 1 month, 1 opera, 1 chance to make my entire career. But now I'm going crazy. I was only here to sing, but nothing in Paris is what it seems. And the old opera house feels very much alive. Voices echo through the walls, gargoyles come to life, and I'm dragged into a whole new world that I never knew existed. A world of monsters. By day, they whisper through stone, and by night, they make me theirs, fangs and wings and claws that leave me aching with need. Pleasure that claims me over and over until I only belong to them. But darker monsters than mine are hunting me. In order to punish my mates, they've decided they want me, and because I am not made of stone, I might not survive." And the second one from the Nocturnal Ink is Better Run by Alina May. The back quote says, "Oh no, don't move right now. I would hate to cut this pretty body without meaning to." There's the spine. This is hard to see because it's the blue and red, but it's like a rope. So the rope is outlined in blue and the background is red. So it's definitely hard to see. You can see that just a little bit better, but and can't show you the art print that came with it, but I can show you the end pages. She is covering herself, so it's the same on the back. And it is reversible. I can only show you this side of it because the other side is not safe for work. I am going to read the synopsis and then I'll show you the rest of the cover. It says, underneath, so we have 3 POVs. Underneath Jaden it says, "She's become my obsession. I hate her for it. I took her for another reason, but now I don't think I'll let her go." Underneath Cole it says, "Jaden brought us home a pretty murderous little plaything. I think I'm going to keep it." And then underneath Mary Jo, it says, "I'm kidnapped by 2 twisted, dangerous, and hungry men. I don't know any of the rules to this fucked up game I'm forced to play. Well, I know I'm not allowed to run. I've never been good at following rules. They play with my body and mind, forcing me to join in, forcing me to like it. But things become increasingly dangerous as I find out the real reason they took me. And it becomes more and more apparent that what I need to do to keep both my body and my heart safe, run." And it says this is not suitable for readers under the age of 18. And I do know that when you go to the website to actually try to purchase some of these books or sign up for the subscription, it does come with a pop-up window so that you do have to confirm that you are 18 years or older. And then Same, different quote on the back. On this one, it says, "I'm going to fuck you, and when I'm done, you'll be ruined. I'm going to tear into you until you fall apart from me. And once I hold your pieces, I'm never giving them back." So that's the quote on the back of the hardback. And then, so rope is a big thing on the cover, so I'm assuming that rope will be a big thing in the actual story. Okay, this next one I'm going to, these next 5 books were from Probably Smut. They did a blind date with the book, and you could select anywhere. If you wanted to do the blind date with the book, you could get one. They gave you some of the tropes listed, or you could get all 5. I got all 5, and this again was pre-ordered, and I think it was in the summer. But this first book, the one thing with the Probably Smut special edition books that I do not like is they never include a synopsis. I wish they included a synopsis, maybe not necessarily on the back of the books, but definitely a synopsis page on the inside. Would like that. So this first one is The Wastelander by E.S. Luck. It is book number 1 in the Wastelander series. The quote on the back says, "Never underestimate even the smallest and weakest of creatures." All right, the synopsis. Have to hit read more. Okay. "The old world is dead. Alone and starving, her only salvation is him. Born in a secure compound amidst the ashes of a world long dead, Claire Ainsley knows her place in the world, work her assigned job, live with her assigned husband, and keep her head down and her mouth shut. She knows what every compound resident has been, the world outside is a wasteland." What? She knows what every compound resident has been, the world outside is a wasteland. That makes no sense to me. Continuing on, it says, "And the only thing more terrifying than leaving the compound is being forced to confront those who live outside, the ones left behind. But her safe, contained life is destroyed when she narrowly survives an attack conceived by a conspiracy from within the compound itself. Only by fleeing into the terrifying wasteland, a vast wilderness peopled by bloodthirsty, cannibalistic wastelanders, can she escape a violent end at the hands of her fellow compound dwellers. Captured by the very savages she feared, she is saved by John Madigan, a mysterious and capable survivor and a wastelander. She tries to deny the instant chemistry she feels with a man that is one moment terrifying, the next patient and caring, but eventually neither of them are able to resist the blazing passion between them. But the wasteland is harsh, and her time with John fleeting. As his own personal mission comes to an end, he must return to his ancestral homeland, leaving her with little choice but to learn to survive without the man whose protection is her only salvation in a harsh, uncompromising, post-apocalyptic landscape. The wasteland of this world has not been kind to those unchosen." And so it's a post-apocalyptic romantic series. So, yeah. Next up, I have Nest of Thieves, written by Rory Miles. The quote on the back says, "What's an Omega have to do to get thrown against the wall and fucked stupid while also being choked?" And looks like this one's a standalone. And the synopsis on Goodreads says, "Who doesn't love a bad guy? My family is certain I'll settle with a boring, law-abiding pack before I graduate from Omega University, but I have other plans. Dangerous ones that break laws. But what's life without a little risk? With a little practice, my sticky fingers turn to skilled pickpocketing, and I discover who I'm truly meant to be, a thief. When a bank robbery that was meant to help me find financial freedom goes haywire, I'm taken hostage by a rough group of men. They have no idea who they've taken, but they're about to find out. No one kidnaps Joe Walsh and gets away with it. I hate them for taking my money, but I respect them for their cunning plans. While I plot their demise, part of me wonders if this isn't the pack I've been destined for all along. They're not good, but then again, neither am I. Can I find a home in a nest of thieves?" It says this is a Why Choose Omegaverse standalone novel. Okay, next up I have Mad Love by Willow Aster. The quote on the back says, "She's my best friend and I'm madly in love with her." This is book number 1 in the Single Dad Playbook series. All right, the synopsis on Goodreads says, "He's a quarterback, a single dad, and now he's my roommate. For a long time now, I've despised Weston Shaw. He's been someone I'd admired, taking my favorite football team, the Colorado Mustangs, to the Super Bowl. But that all turned upside down after one night that had nothing to do with me. We share one undeniable connection, his son, Caleb. Unfortunately, the circumstances behind that have never been my story to tell. But now the truth is out, and I'm left to deal with the consequences. I'm living under the same roof as Weston, and each day I discover a side of him I never expected. He's not the selfish jock I imagined. He's caring, thoughtful, and unexpectedly charming. I find myself drawn to him in ways I never thought possible. It's terrifying and exhilarating, but I can't deny it any longer. I'm falling for the one person I shouldn't, Weston Shaw. And it does say this is book number 1 in the series. Okay, the next one is Berries and Greed, written by Mayne, I'm guessing is how it is said. This is book number 1 in the Deep Earth dating series. The quote on the back says, "I swear I was only looking for a roommate." So the synopsis is a little bit longer. So underneath Greed it says, G-R-E-I-D is the spelling, so I'm guessing it's greed. It says, "I may hate everyone, but you can only take being alone for so long. Sooner or later, you get desperate enough to visit a human cult that worships your species as greater beings in the hope of finding a new roommate to fill the lonely void. We've all been there, right? I swear I was only looking for a roommate. Just someone to watch TV and eat dinner with. Nothing romantic. No way. But when I see all these humans gazing at me with open adoration and blatant lust and other things that make me wildly uncomfortable, I realize what a terrible mistake this is, until I spot the one human woman in the group who is definitely not pleased to see me. In fact, she's scowling at me. She looks really, really annoyed. I'm kind of into it." And then underneath the female, I'm guessing it's Barry, maybe Beryl, I'm not quite sure. It's B-E-R-Y-L. It says, "I'm not a true follower of the order of the greater beings. I don't worship the demigurus, the monstrous species that lives alongside humans. I definitely do not want to become a demigurus mate. So when one shows up at the cult's compound, the first in the entire 25 years I've been flying under the radar here, I want to make sure he knows that I think he's a total creep for taking advantage of worryingly adoring humans this way. Until I realize I don't think that's why he's here. He's kind of awkward and anxious and wildly out of his depth. And when he offers me the chance to finally escape the cult, to go out into the real world for the first time, to create a life for myself, all for the low, low cost of an easy platonic friendship, I take it. Now I'm navigating the outside world, and I'm roommates with a big, awkward demigurus called Greed." I'm guessing. Anyway, he lives in his pajamas, watches a ridiculous amount of TV, and is high most of the time. He's also the sweetest guy I've ever met, and he's funny and generous and easy to talk to. But I've spent my entire life making sure I didn't get sucked into the cult's fervent worship of the demigurus. There's no way I'm going to fall in love with him, right? And the last one from Probably Smut is Midnight Stage, written by Sheridan Ann. The quote on the back says, "We always had a connection, an invisible string that held us together," or that tied us together, excuse me. That's hard to see, but because it's such a dark cover. Not really a fan of the art personally. It's not my taste. Anyway, but that's okay. I prefer the front cover. It says, Ezra Knight, and I think this is a standalone. It says, "Ezra Knight is the biggest rock star to ever walk the planet. But before he belonged to the world, he belonged to me. He was my brother's best friend, my soulmate and protector. And when their band, Demon's Curse, took off, so did he. He was like a roaring tornado, crashing through my world and sweeping me off my feet. And just when I had it all, I was abandoned. Left to fend for myself at the hands of a monster. For 8 long years, I blamed him for everything that was out of his control. But one phone call changed it all. And when Lenny Davidson, the head of Louder Records, calls to offer you the world, you scoop it up with both hands. Only that offer comes with strings attached. Strings that are tied directly to Ezra Knight, leaving me with one hell of a choice to make. Take the job as the new head of marketing for Demon's Curse and have to face the man who crushed you every single day, or wave goodbye to everything you've ever worked for. What could possibly go wrong?" Okay, and the last 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books in this video are all from Once Upon a Book Club. And then that'll be the end of this video. I'll do a separate haul video for books that I just purchased, whether they're part of a series or ones I needed for like the autism reads, for some of those, book clubs, things like that. So, last 8 books for this video. And then there will be a separate video for actual Christmas related books, as far as like books that were gifted to me or I got from with cash. Anyway, so these are in no particular order, and the first one I'll show you is Curse of Shadows and Thorns, written by L.J. Andrews. The stenciled edges with a raven or a crow, I can't tell the difference there. And then with thorned roses going throughout, it's the same on the top and the bottom. Oh wait, no, the top and the bottom are the same, they just have an axe there. These do come with ribbons. So the ribbon on this one is a bright red. Quote on the inside says, "A rebellious princess, a cursed rogue, a forbidden love that will bring a kingdom to its knees." Okay, let me read the back of this book and then I'll show you the reversible dust jacket and then the end pages and all of that. It says, "A niece of the king, Elsie Lysander, cares about 2 things: sneaking into gambling dens and avoiding an advantageous marriage at all costs. When her uncle holds the life of her deathly ill father over her head, reluctantly, Elsie puts her fate into the hands of Legion Grey, the handsome and mysterious dowry negotiator. He may be arrogant and infuriating, and soon Legion Legion incites a blistering, forbidden passion she can't ignore. As their attraction grows, so do the dangers: attacks from black-eyed people, a cursed enemy who is more beast than man, and rumors of Fae returning for the crown they believe was stolen from them long ago. After a bloody coup upends the kingdom, Elsie flees with Legion, but nothing is as it seems. The man she allowed into her heart reveals his own secret plans with the return of magic, and he has every intention of using Elsie to see them through. With war between magic and mortal on the horizon, Elsie must pick a side to protect her kingdom. Does she stand with her people who stole the throne, or with the man who lied his way into her heart and whose secret past could bring her destruction?" So, now the end, I'll show you the dust jacket first, the reversible dust jacket. So it has the synopsis there, and then there's that. I like this side better. And then here is the back of the book without the dust jacket, the side and the front. End pages in the back. End pages in the front. Next up, I have House of Bane and Blood by Alexis Menard. Is there another? Okay, I've got that one. Is this one number 2? No, this one's number 1. Okay, it has the 1 there. So this is number 1 in a series. The end pages, we've got a castle there. There's like a mask there. So it's kind of harder to see with the coloring, but... And then we have a revolver, a snake, and a moon at the top. Same at the bottom. The ribbon on this one looks like it's black. And then the reversible dust jacket. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read this and then I'll show you the under the dust jacket. It says, "In a city split into 2 opposing sides, power comes in many bloodlines: money, love, and, most importantly, secrets. An heiress in the most notorious family in Lynchhaven, Camilla Marchese is doing all she can to keep her family's syndicate, the Iron Saint Railway, from slipping into bankruptcy. When the gorgeous and depraved Nikolai Atano, the leader of a rival family, offers to pay off the inspector in exchange for her hand, she has no choice but to give up not only her throne, but her name. Nico has his own motivations for their union beyond maintaining peace with her family. A serial kidnapper known as the Collector has been ravaging the streets of Remnant Row, stirring up mistrust between natives and descendants. If Mila can help restore safety to his streets, he'll have no need for her or her family's company. Find the Collector, prevent a war between their sides of the city, and pay off the family debt before she turns 21. If Mila can fulfill her end of the bargain, she'll walk away with more freedom than she's ever had before. But this deal plunges Mila into the city's dark underbelly, where remnant magic and arcane science compete in a deadly game of depravity. When forbidden feelings rise for her new husband and dark family secrets come to light, Mila must discover the truth about her past before it gets them both killed, or worse, collected. And then underneath the dust jacket says, "Order hates what it can't control." And the side. And then the front. Oh, and then the end pages. I almost forgot. So that's the front and the back. Okay, this next one is also by Alexis L. Menard, and this is book number 2 in the same series as the one you just saw. And this one is City of Mirth and Malice. And we have Big Ben, and then a bionic hand, and then a hand with, like, I don't know, some kind of viney thing on this side. And then the top is one of those drama mask things, a revolver, and a snake. It's the same on the bottom. Okay. And then the reversible dust jacket. It says, City of Mirth and Malice. Some debts are not so easily repaid or forgiven. Nikolai Antano finally has everything he's ever wanted. Control over the Iron Saint Railway, safety for his family, and not a single rival syndicate to stand in his way. Never could he have imagined he'd want anything more than power, not until Camilla Marchese. 6 weeks have passed since the disaster on the train and his wife was kidnapped, but to get her back, he'll need help. Nico struggles to work with the city poisoned against him and is instead forced to seek the aid of a disreputable black market dealer, a simple deal to ensure her rescue. Nico doesn't think twice. A bargain is struck and the cost is higher than ever. The collateral? His life. Meanwhile, Camilla fights to gain control over the newfound powers, and the alchemist in charge of her confinement puts her to the test. Forced to free what she's held so close, the only light in this hellish prison is hope to see her family again, and the husband who stole her heart. 3 trials and 3 chances to find the source of her chaos and use it to save her life. If it doesn't, destroy her first. Cracks in the city draw lines between loyalties, and time is running out until everything comes crashing down. Quote on the back says, "You can't control chaos." Looks like a Titanic moment there. Here's the spine and the front end pages. And the back end pages. All right, next up I have Bound by Gravity by Jenny Hickman. So we have day and night, night and day, and then just day. So the back says, they were never meant for happily ever after. They fell in love anyway. She thought he was dead. 4 years after the disappearance of her beloved prince, Lady Alette Riddy returns to the Fey realm to find Prince Sinan very much alive and on the verge of marrying a bloody princess. Desperate for answers, Alette poses as a servant to gain access to his castle. But the wedding bells are ringing, and she's running out of time before she loses him forever. Prince Sinan Vale has problems, a lot of them. Most pressing, an arranged marriage not to the woman he was meant for, but the princess of a neighboring kingdom. When the king refuses to call off the engagement, Sinan loses all hope. Then his long-lost love returns from the grave. Sinan and Alette learn the truth of what kept them apart, discovering they have been betrayed by those closest to them. The only way to be together is to flee the kingdom, but first they must escape a castle full of traitors. And under the dust jacket, so it is a reversible dust jacket. And then the back, that's the synopsis on it. Oh, and by the way, these are all signed editions. Front end pages. And back. Oh, and this one does have a ribbon as well. Did I show the ribbon of this previous one? Oh, I did not. The ribbon of this previous one is silver. Of the city of Malice or of Mirth and Malice. And then the ribbon in this one is a navy. Okay, this next one is book 1 in the Born Bane series. This one does not have a dust jacket, and it is by I.A. Takerian, and this is Rise of the Dawnbringer. It does have like a metal type corner there. There's the spine, stenciled edges, so these are green with leaves, and the quote on the back says, "In ancient darkness, a land unraveled, the threads of fate torn asunder." Is there a synopsis page in this? I don't think so. No. Alright, I'm gonna have to look it up, but in the meantime, here's the front end pages. And the back. Alright, let me get the synopsis pulled up on this one, and I'm going to have to do the same for the next one, because it's book 2 in this series. The synopsis. It says this is a high fantasy series, and it's a slow burn romance. And let's see. Okay. After living her entire life behind the white walls of the illustrious kingdom of Delenval, Princess Mara, niece of the great king Grathiel, understands what is expected of her. As her uncle's only heir to the throne, she was raised to be a noble woman with a full understanding of the history of the lands of Xenofrost and the fallen kingdoms that lay beyond Delenval's protected borders. But the political intrigue and endless theatrics that come with her birthright have never suited her. Though she loves her people, Mara loathes the future her uncle has planned for her, and the approach of her 21st birthday brings with it a whole new expectation that she will marry a man of the king's choosing. Mara believes this is the worst thing that could ever happen to her. She's wrong. In the early morning hours before her birthday, she's awakened by a living nightmare. A group of dreads, the immortal dark magic users vanquished by King Grathiel 20 years before, have infiltrated the castle, and Mara is kidnapped from her own bed by a tall dark stranger with dire motives. For the first time in her life, the princess finds herself outside the guarded walls of Delenval and witnessing firsthand the destruction of the dread's corruptive magics. The destruction of the dread's... Okay, let me start that part over. So she's witnessing firsthand the destruction the dread's corruptive magics have wrought upon the land. There we go. The world is dying. Horrifying creatures stalk the barren plains and tainted forests. Foul rulers, defiled by diabolical magics, vie for control. A mysterious ritual involving Mara herself seems to be Xenofrost's only hope for survival. But when hidden truths about the past burns Mara's life to the ground, can she somehow find victory in the ashes? Okay, and then book number 2, so the book that follows that one that I just did. The ribbon on this one is silver, kind of a silver gray. Also does not have a dust jacket. It comes with these plated edges. Purple and silver are the colors on this one. It looks like something at sea on this one. This one is a prophecy of undone. The quote on the back says, "Veiled secrets, deadly shadows, the last whispers of destiny." Water and lightning, that is definitely hard to see, but it's because it's black and a dark purple. So, front end pages and back end pages. All right, this one says, let's see. Perilous journey through the trials, readying our war party to fight for the fates of all. The world of Xenofrost is burning. Darkness has overtaken the lands, corrupting everything it touches. After discovering the truth of her birth, Mara, princess of Delenval, daughter of the Dread Queen, prophesied bringer of the dawn, has no time to sift through the rubble of her former life, not with the salvation of the world resting upon her shoulders. By sheer luck and the help of her allies, Mara has somehow managed to survive the first trial of the Olians. Now, as she moves into the dangers of the trials to come, she must stand beside warriors with centuries of training and skill in powerful magics. But with Siffrin, Cain, Milos, and El to guide her, she remains determined to prove herself worthy to fight among them. Evil, however, refuses to wait until the Dawnbringer is prepared for battle. Shadows loom ever closer to the Forgotten Wood, and death rides in on swift wings. When nightmares become reality, Mara's confidence falters. Is she truly fit to lead charge into the dawn? Okay, so we're on the last 2 books. This next one, and they are by separate authors. So this one is Till Death, written by Miranda Lynn. The back says, "I wondered when you'd come out to play, Nightmare." And this is like a dark red. It's definitely harder to see, but it is actually, let me see if I get the flashlight on my phone. There you go. So it's red and black with a lock there. And then the same thing, red and black. That works better on the top and the bottom. Okay. And then the ribbon is a very pretty, kind of like an emerald green. So that's the ribbon. And then the reversible dust jacket has the characters. This one says, "Beyond the realm of gods, 2 cities stand at the brink of despair, and a dark destiny awaits. Death's newest maiden." Oh, and awaits Death's newest maiden. That makes more sense. Long ago, Requiem was plagued by war and abandoned by the gods, but Death saved the suffering people, giving each soul 100 years of immortality. With that grace, he also sent 2 maidens, one of life for healing and comfort, and one of death, the only person in the world with the ability to kill. Generations later, the life of Maiden is missing, and Princess Denaria is nothing more than a trained weapon, a hunter, a murderer, wrenched into death's dark court to have the name of her next victim scarred into her palm. She is the enemy of this land, but when she's Given the chance to bring peace through marriage and finally show her father's kingdom her worth, she is viciously tricked into marrying the wrong man, ruining the future of the damaged realm. Her only hope to give something back to the world is to find the missing life maiden. Oh, my lights are off. I had to charge my camera for a second. Hang on. There you go. There you go. Now you got the little snowflake lights. Okay. Alright, so she needs to find the missing life maiden. Okay, now eternally bound to her enemy and dragged into the dark burlesque show her new husband is bound to, she must fight to keep herself free, and her heart especially when she becomes the hunted. That's kind of hard to see. It's a very light color on, it's not very light, but it's just the color contrast between the two, and then it's very tiny writing, so it's hard to see. But under the dust jacket, it's like a velvet, fuzzy velvet, gold foiling. There's the spine. And front end pages. And the back. Okay, this last one, there is no dust jacket. So let me look this one up on Goodreads, and I'm guessing this one's going to involve dragons because there are dragons on the cover. And this next one is book number 1 in the Legacy series. And this is Reign of Shadows and Endings by Melissa K. Rorick. With gold-plated stuff there. Oh, there is a synopsis on the back of this one. It says, and so there's the back with the synopsis. And here's the spine. Of all the worlds and life they created, the gods favored their children the most. But with that favor came the fear that their legacy would one day become too powerful and overthrow them. Devyn was created, a realm hidden amongst the stars. The gods gave their legacy the best of all the worlds, and then they left. A sworn agreement to never return and to never interfere. Forced to a life of servitude, the Fae are required to provide for the legacy in more ways than one. Every 5 years, the eligible Fae are gathered for the selection and assigned to serve in one of the 6 kingdoms. To be chosen as the personal source for a kingdom heir is the greatest honor. And for the first time in a millennia, all 6 kingdoms have heirs choosing a source. But their selections could tip the power of balance a little too far. Tessalin Asura was as forgotten as the realm, but when she finds herself the personal source to heir of endings, she winds up serving in the darkest kingdoms of them all. The secrets within the Arius kingdom are meant to be learned and kept, but this was never the life she wanted. Fighting not only the fate thrust upon her, but the temptation to lose herself to desire. Tessa will do anything to escape her new destiny, until she starts to realize maybe the world wasn't as forgotten as they thought, and maybe she's the reason why. Got some people there on the stenciled edges. Dragons. And then it's the same on the bottom. More dragons. The bookmark on this, the bookmark ribbon. Oh, this one has a page inlay with a man on a horse and 2 dogs. And the ribbon, if I can get it, is black. Front end pages. And the back end pages. That reminds me of Hogwarts. So, anyway, that is it for this particular haul. So I've already done a birthday haul that was all books. I already did one of those, and that video has been live. And then I did the Book Grocer Advent haul. These ones are all additional book boxes that I got and pre-ordered in the summer and then got in December. So these are all pre-orders for December, except for one book, which was a subscription box. One of these 2 from Nocturnal Ink. The rest were pre-order boxes. Oh, and then monthly subscription that I just signed back up for Book of the Month. So those ones are all from book boxes. And then I will do two additional December book hauls. I'll do a general December book haul. Again, those are ones that I have had pre-ordered that have come in, or I ended up with getting books like 5 or 6 in a series, and so I ordered book number 1. And then I'll do a separate one which is specifically for Christmas. Let me know, have you read any of these books or books from any of these authors? Talk to me in the comment section below, and until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I will talk to you later.